renewal of one of the great rivalries in the NFL. Kansas City, the all-time leader, 56-48 last time they met, last January in Denver. Won by the Chiefs by a score of 7-3 as we welcome you to Arrowhead Stadium on a beautiful final Sunday afternoon in the month of November. And Dan, you can count the number of times that on 2 or 3 fingers that Arrowhead Stadium wasn't filled to the brim.
Yeah, it's a late arriving crowd. It's a disappointed crowd. But you're right about the weather, Greg. No wind at all. Temperature right now is around 50 degrees. Bright sunshine, not a cloudless sky. A perfect day for football.
Sean Drone is deep. The Chiefs won the toss. They are getting the football first, and Drone 2 yards deep out of his own end zone. And lots of blocking in front of him, breaking to the outside and out close to the 30-yard line. Brady Quinn came on at halftime last week in relief of Matt Castle in the loss to Cincinnati. He starts today. He is 3-11 as a starter in his career. And as Dan mentioned a couple of moments ago, Romeo Crennel, the head coach of the Chiefs, says this is not a temporary attempt at a fix. This is permanent unless something drastic happens. And there is Matt Castle watching from the sideline.
180.
This is Jamaal Charles, an outstanding runner, and he busts it out to the 35, brought down by Wesley Woodyard. Injuries have hit the Chiefs' offensive line hard. Left tackle Brandon Albert is out. Rookie Donald Stevenson replaces him. Kansas City owns the 4th best rushing attack in the NFL, led by Jamaal Charles.
And if things aren't bad enough, Jamaal Charles, after that first run, had to come to the Kansas City sideline. Looked like he was clutching his midsection.
Peyton Hillis replaces him in the backfield.
Oh, you can't even measure what a loss that is for Kansas City if that makes him a little less effective.
Hillis to the left side. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Jamaal Charles on that opening carry.
Oh, and he's doubled over on the sidelines. A good positive gain, a good cut up field. He might have landed on the football. Looked like the football, rather than off to the side, is right underneath it, and it comes down and looks like it hits him right in the sternum. And that hurt. Hopefully it was just getting the wind knocked out of him. That's from a Kansas City perspective. They just can't lose Charles.
Sean Drone is now in the backfield on 3rd and 2, and he gets a first down across the 40 and out to about the 43-yard line. Denver's 4-3 defense, number 92, Elvis Dumervil. 8 quarterback sacks. He's forced 6 fumbles. A terror for quarterbacks at linebacker in Von Miller. 13 sacks, 23 tackles for a loss. That leads the NFL in that department. And the one and only Champ Bailey holds down 1 corner in the secondary. 51 career interceptions, 33 of them as a Bronco.
Well, this is no surprise for the Kansas City offense that they're running the football successfully so far.
Quinn to throw his first pass of the day on the slant at midfield. It's complete to Dexter McCluster. And across midfield and into Denver territory to the 49.
And Raheem Moore drops him immediately. This is a good job of holding on to the football. McCluster took a big pop right off the bat. Yeah, I'd be happy about holding on to that ball too. And there's some good news for Kansas City.
Jamaal Charles back into the backfield on 2nd and 3. And this is Charles, left side, has a first down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. When we talked to Brady Quinn this week, he says, yeah, there's more on the table for me this week considering it's Denver. He spent 2 years in Denver and never saw the playing field.
Now keep in mind that this is his 6th season in the National Football League after being a first-round pick of the Browns back in 2007. But amazingly, in those 6 years, this is just start number 15 for Brady Quinn. For all of his time in the league, he's relatively inexperienced.
On first down, this is Hillis. And Hillis lost the ball. Was he down before he coughed it up? Officials say it's Denver football. Mike Adams with the recovery.
So there's a lot of officials looking at each other. Jerome Boger's looking up at a play, looking at a replay on the screen. I think his knee's down before that ball comes out.
I think that left knee hit the turf.
It looks to me. Denver does a good job of stripping that ball, but I think his knee is down before that ball is stripped away.
Jerome Boger is our referee today. Romeo Crennel has challenged. Jerome Boger will take a look.
Welcome back to Kansas City, everybody. We got a pretty definitive look right here. They're right there, freeze it. The left knee is down, and Peyton Hillis still has the football solidly in his possession.
And Jerome Boger has made his decision.
After reviewing the play, the runner was down by contact at the 42-yard line. It will be first down and 10 for Kansas City at the 42-yard line.
And I misspoke earlier saying that Romeo Crennel had thrown the challenge flag. That is an automatic review of a turnover. It's always good to get that first mistake out of the way early, Dan.
Old habits die hard.
Yes, I know.
In the current NFL, all turnovers automatically reviewed, all scoring plays automatically reviewed, and replay did its job right there. We're having
I think Jerome Boger just said first down, but it really isn't. It would be a gain of 3 and would make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, they're going to have to correctly spot this football and get the down and distance right. They haven't switched the down marker over on the far sideline, or either sideline. It's still showing first down. Here comes our correction right here.
We have a correction. Kansas City keeps the ball, but it's second down. Second down.
All right.
Dan, this has been historically one of the loudest places in all of football. You played in the very first game played here.
Yes, I did 40 years ago. And and now we're getting slowed down again. Chiefs are at the line of scrimmage, and Jerome Boger steps in, and now let's play some football. There are a lot of empty seats here at Arrowhead, and obviously
there's a lot of discontent in this town.
There is, and this is one of the great fan bases in professional sports. And they are an unhappy lot right now. 1 and 9 will do that to you.
Brady gives to Dexter McCluster. McCluster turning the corner, cuts inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Brought down by Jim Leonard. That's a terrific looking running play.
Well, and this is really an in-your-face from the Kansas City Chiefs, because let's not kid ourselves. The Broncos know that they're going to run the football. And right now they are getting blocked. They're struggling to get off blocks. And this time McCluster enjoys a huge opening off the right-hand side. But this is not taking Denver by surprise.
Right up the middle is Jamal Charles, who cuts it outside. And not much there, maybe to the 22.
Well, Kansas City last scored a touchdown on their opening drive back in 2010. There was a Castle pass to Jamal Charles for the touchdown. It's been 27 games since the Chiefs have had an opening drive touchdown. That's the longest streak in the National Football League still alive, and that's something I know Romeo would love to put in the rearview mirror.
Well, this Chiefs team has only scored 4 touchdowns in the last 6 games. Scoring has been the problem. Straight ahead is Sean Drone, and Drone to about the 16-yard line where Mike Adams makes the stop.
One of the things that the Chiefs are having to compensate for is they've got a rookie starting at left tackle, Donald Stevenson. Brandon Albert, their outstanding left tackle, he's got a bad back and he's not able to go today. And imagine if this gets into a situation where the Chiefs fall behind and this rookie's got to deal with Elvis Dumervil and Von Miller in the passing game. That's why 8 running plays so far for Kansas City against a lone pass.
3rd and 3. And the direct snap. Gillis going to throw it on the far side of the field and way short of Brady Quinn.
Well, they tried a little trickery. Now, Elvis Dumervil was over there fronting up Quinn, and I don't know if that affected the play. As Greg said, the direct snap here to Hillis, but he just short arms it coming back. And Dumerville was the closest guy there, but he was having to spin around.
Brian Suckup, who was 20 for 23 in field goals, this one from 34 yards to give Kansas City the lead.
And something that's been a rarity for them.
And it's good. So the key to beating the Denver Broncos is to keep that guy on the sideline. He gets his first shot on offense when we come back. Chiefs get a field goal and take a 3-0 lead. Fans were booing, Dan, and I'm sure many of them will ask, as I asked during the break, think the running game is going so well, why would you try a play like that?
Well, because you're selling the running game, and really Matt Castle was open. I mean, not Matt Castle, but on the other side, Brady Quinn was open. A better throw from Hillis would have picked up a first down.
Trindon Holiday will not run this one out of the end zone. And so the Broncos will begin at their own 20-yard line. And Peyton Manning at quarterback for the Broncos, just 25 yards shy of his 14th season, throwing for 3,000 yards. He has 24 touchdown passes against 7 interceptions. The NFL's only 4-time MVP.
Yeah, he's liable to eclipse 3,000 yards on this drive.
He has the kind of receivers who could eclipse it on one pass.
That is true.
Manning will give it to Noshawn Moreno, and Moreno not much there at all, maybe a 3-yard gain. Derek Johnson with the tackle. And Manning will not huddle his team. He'll set them at the line.
A lot of pressure on Noshawn Moreno, replacing Willis McGahee. This might be his last chance to secure a home in Denver.
Manning's first pass of the day. Moreno crushed at about the 17 or 18-yard line. And again, Derek Johnson. Manning gets a key lineman back today. Right guard Chris Cooper missed the last 2 games with a sprained left ankle. And with McGahee gone with a knee injury, we've talked about Noshawn Moreno with a chance to resurrect his career with the start at running back today.
Keep in mind, Moreno has been inactive the last 8 games. They haven't even seen fit to dress him.
3rd and 12.
That's way down the pecking order.
Manning with time, up the middle, and he's got his man out across the 45 to the 47, Brandon Stokely, and there's a loose football, and it goes over to Kansas City. And Stokely is shaken up.
Well, Stokely took a huge hit. All right, let's take a look at this. Underneath coverage is by Arenas, and then the safety coming in over the top and sandwiched in between. And it looked like that ball was on the ground. Let's take a look at it. That may end up being an incomplete pass.
Review in progress.
Again, welcome back to Kansas City. Here comes the pass from Manning to Stokely. All right, he has it there, but he's going to go to the ground. He's got to complete the process of this catch, and it looks to me like Arenas picks the ball up off of the ground, which would mean that that is an incomplete pass because Stokely didn't complete the process.
So Jerome Boger busy under the hood already today.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 12 at the 18-yard line.
That's good work by Jerome Boger going under the hood because Stokely did not complete the process. In that situation, you must go to the ground and maintain possession of the football, and it was pretty clear that Arenas actually picked the ball up off of the grass.
And Javier Arenas is now deep for the punt, and the first of many a Colquitt punt today.
And we'll see about Stokely's health. He was holding his right arm when he left the field. He took a vicious hit.
This is Britton Colquitt to punt it away for Denver. His brother Dustin kicks for Kansas City. Arenas with a chance for a return from the 37. Midfield, up the middle, inside the 40-yard line. Brought down by Omar Bolden. And terrific field position for Brady Quinn and the Chiefs offense. Tomorrow on CBS, is she a psychoanalyst or just plain psycho? Catch an electrifying new Hawaii 5-0 tomorrow only. CBS.
Well, right now, if you're the Denver defense, you look at the first Kansas City go-around, 8 running plays, 2 passes, one of which was a halfback pass by Peyton Hillis. So you might have some idea what's coming at you.
Play fake to Charlie. Deep drop for Quinn. Looking deep, throwing deep. This side, incomplete.
Tremendous play by Mike Adams, the safety. Boy, does he cover a lot of ground.
Jamar Newsom was the intended receiver who started all the way on the far side of the field.
Well, that's how long this play took. But Mike Adams covers a lot of ground and then perfectly comes in and gets a hand on the football. Yeah, Brady Quinn ends up on the ground, but not after he held that ball for a good 5 or 6 seconds.
180.
Second and 10. The pitch for Charles. Cuts it back. Has running room to about the 32-yard line. Our first update of the day. To New York, JB and Shannon.
Pittsburgh likes this kind of help. Yes, JB, when you're down to your third quarterback, you need help like this from your defense. Tip pass. Pittsburgh's LT, Lawrence Timmons, that is. 53-yard INT return for a touchdown. The Steelers are on top 7-3. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, guys, thank you.
Wow, imagine the Pittsburgh defense scoring. How many times have we seen Dick LeBeau's group doing that over there?
Third and 4 for Quinn. Straight drop, little pump fake, and then out here to the side. That's complete to his tight end, Moeaki, who is out of bounds at about the 12 and a first down. Wesley Woodyard shoved him out.
Yeah, well, Woodyard was the closest guy, but when I say the closest guy, I'm talking about he was a good 4 or 5 yards away. When Brady Quinn looked over here at Moeaki, he must have been thrilled to see how wide open he was. That's a blow on the Denver defense there to leave a relief valve that wide open, especially as good a receiver as Tony Moeaki has been for Kansas City.
Jack Del Rio was one of those who echoed that thought that nobody wants to play a 1-9 team.
180.
First down from the 12. McCluster, left side. Inside the 10 to the 8.
Well, right now, this offensive line and blocking backs for Kansas City, they're doing a pretty darn good job. They're putting a hat on a white jersey, and they're not losing their feet. They're running with them. Take a look at that. You got Jeff Allen, the rookie, number 71, out in front. He can't even find anybody to block. He kind of froze in the hole. He provided more obstruction than he did help.
Kansas City's red zone offense, nothing to brag about. Dead last in the NFL so far. Second and 6. Charles, left side for maybe a yard. Well, we come up on 5:50 to play in the first.
That was a good job. Looked like Derek Wolfe set the edge over there. That was one of the first times we've seen the Denver defense set a hard edge where Kansas City couldn't get around it. And Brady Quinn told us, he said, look, we can't just punt. We've got to take our chances. With Manning on the other sideline, you just can't play a conservative game.
What he said was you just can't punt and give the ball back to Peyton Manning. Third and 5. And the play clock winding down.
Yeah, they're inside. Boy, down to 5 seconds.
Quick snap. The pass. That is caught at about the 5 and ahead to the 4-yard line. Terrence Copper. And he was hit there by Champ Bailey. And that'll bring the field goal unit on. And the fans want the team to go for it on 4th down.
Well, the fans, what they're saying is, look, what do we have to lose? We're 1-9. We're huge underdogs if we don't get it. But I think the coach in Romeo Crennel comes out and says, look, we'll play the odds. I hate to have a good drive like this end up with nothing.
And you'd give the Broncos tremendous momentum if they stopped it.
And I think if it was 4th and 1 or less, they might have gone for it.
22-yard field goal by Succop is good. And with 4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, the Chiefs extend their lead now to 6-0. 2 drives, 2 field goals for the Chiefs, and they lead it by a score of 6-0. And as we noted at the beginning of the game that there were an awful lot of empty seats, which is unusual for an Arrowhead Stadium crowd, we should note the fact that they filled up pretty well since then.
We called it late arriving, and that's exactly what it was. But they're here.
Well, there was barbecue to be finished.
And I wish I was out there finishing it with
Trendon Holiday. And he will run this one out after a delay. To 15, and he has running room. 30. And out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. They'll mark it at the 46. Trendon Holiday. He's small, but boy is he quick. Hey, you got a sports fan on your gift list? Avoid the crowds with CBSSports.com. Shop, save big on all officially licensed clearance gear with an additional 20% off now at shop.cbssports.com. 47-yard line of the Denver Broncos, and Brandon Stokely shaken up on that last play on offense for the Broncos, back in the lineup. Wilcox winding down on Manning now. Under pressure, and goes down at the 38-yard line. In on him, number 50, Justin Houston. That's his 8th sack of the season.
Well, when we talked to Tamba Ali, he said you got to be relentless against Manning, and you can't get frustrated because he gets rid of the ball so quickly. But that time, Peyton Manning found nothing downfield. And here's a good look at what he's seeing, and what he's seeing is his receivers not able to get separation from the Kansas City DBs.
Dan, Justin Houston was in on a pretty good left tackle in Ryan Clady. Manning quick pass outside. That's complete to Stokely, and Stokely brought down at the 44.
Well, you've got to admit, so far in this first quarter, and we'll see how long they can keep this kind of urgency in their game, but the Kansas City Chiefs on both sides of the football playing mighty hard.
That completion allows Denver to get to -5 yards on the day so far. 3rd and 13. Over the middle, wide open is Decker. Decker inside the 30 to about the 28 or 27-yard line, and a first down.
Well, that time Kansas City unable to generate any kind of a pass rush, and they paid for it. Their 4-man rush just gets completely snuffed out, and Manning has all the time in the world for Eric Decker to uncover and get open coming across the middle.
Eric Decker told us he was in middle school when Peyton Manning first got drafted.
That was all because of good pass protection by that group up front. Peyton changing everything now.
From the 28, Manning throwing inside the 20-yard line to Brandon Stokely, and that is ruled a catch.
Well, he bobbled it initially, but it looked like he got it back under control. Again, good pass protection. Manning able to step into the throw.
Pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This is Moreno. Penalty marker flies as he ducks inside the 15 to about the 12.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
That penalty is on Zane Beadles, the left guard.
Well, he was right there at the point of attack. And just when Denver had finally gotten a little momentum going on offense, they take a step back.
By the way, Peyton Manning now over 3,000 yards throwing on the season for a 14th time. This is 2 in your career.
And there's a lot of football in this regular season left to be played.
2nd and 12.
4,000 yards is going to be eclipsed as well.
Manning got rid of it, threw it away. And a little bit of a yelling at an offensive lineman or two.
Well, Peyton Manning inspires everyone around him. He demands that they play to his level. I think when we were talking to Ronnie Hillman, their rookie running back, he's put it best. He goes, I'm more afraid of Peyton Manning than I am of the coaches.
Last ball in the backfield on 3rd and long. Throwing far side of the field, and that is off the fingertips of Demaryius Thomas. First time he's been thrown to today. Incomplete.
I think Peyton put it in a pretty decent spot, giving Thomas a chance, considering Brandon Flowers has got good inside coverage on it, and that's the only place Peyton Manning could put it because of Flowers' coverage. Give Brandon Flowers a lot of credit there. He forced that incompletion.
So here is Matt Prater. 15 out of 17. This is from 47 yards out.
Whoa, a knuckleball there.
And didn't knuckle between the uprights. The fans and the Chiefs and Kansas City. It's something to cheer about. 1:18 to play. Still 6-0. A reminder, get coverage of every game while on the go this holiday weekend with NFL Mobile. Watch every touchdown from Sunday afternoon games with NFL Red Zone for $5 a month. Call ** NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile. The Chiefs at their own 38-yard line with 1:18 to play in the first quarter. Brady Quinn spreads the offense. And we get movement up front.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, this lead for the Chiefs, Dan, is rarefied air for them.
Yeah, take a look at it. They've led for a little over 8 minutes today, as you see down on the bottom, but only 26 minutes and 1 second for this season. And look how that compares going all the way back to 1983. It's historically, it's such a small amount. And from a player's perspective, a fan's perspective, you know, it's a whole lot nicer game when you can play with a lead. And the Chiefs have rarely had it.
On 1st and 15, they'll run it with Charles up the middle, and Charles across the 35 to about the 36-yard line, brought down by Justin Banner.
And it's really good news for the Chiefs that Jamal Charles, after looking like initially might have hurt himself, apparently just got the wind knocked out. Good news for them that he's back in the lineup. He and McCluster are a couple of just explosive players that are just a big play waiting to happen.
Picked up 4, 2nd and 11. We are in the final minute of the first quarter. Quinn throwing, that's complete, across the 40 to about the 42 or the 43 to McCluster.
And the Chiefs are really working hard trying to get the football to their big playmakers, and that was one of the few real conventional looking passing plays by the Chiefs, where Brady Quinn in a shotgun empty backfield gave it away and completed the pass, albeit a quick one, but nonetheless a completion.
We'll see if the Chiefs get a playoff before this quarter expires, and it appears they will not. So we come to the end of one. Hey, surprise around the NFL. The Chiefs lead the Broncos 6-0. Boy, given the way this season has been going for the Kansas City Chiefs, it would be real easy for them to mail it in. But Romeo Crennel told us my guys are doing a good job of being teammates, which means that they haven't gone against each other. They're hung pretty tight.
We'll take a look at how they have reversed that first quarter trend.
3rd and 5 for Brady Quinn. On the move. Can't find anybody. And is going to go down at the 41-yard line.
Well, Von Miller got over there and sealed it off, but they fooled Kansas City that time. The Denver defense brought only a 3-man rush. They didn't even rush Miller. He dropped a little bit in coverage, and he's just reading the quarterback, and when Quinn got flushed, he went and got it.
So here is the other Colquitt brother. This is Dustin Colquitt, 3 years older than Denver punter Britton, and Jim Leonard is deep. That's a pretty good kick. It hadn't gone into the end zone, but it did. A Wednesday in prime time. James Brown, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms showcase America's favorite game with their own unique style inside the NFL Wednesday on Showtime.
There's Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator there with his nice full beard. Always had a good-looking goatee, but sitting there next to Brady Quinn.
Well, he heard the chilly weather was coming.
And he heard correctly.
So Manning and company from the 20-yard line. And this is Moreno. And Moreno tripped up at the line of scrimmage forward to about the 23.
Tripped up on his own guy. It wasn't an attempted tackle. It looked to me like he tripped over his own guy. Trying to cut outside Joel Dreesen right there and clips him on the right heel. And that sends him to the turf. This game's tough enough without falling over your own guys.
John Fox said the scout team is where Moreno has had to get his reps, and he's done it well. Play fake. And the pass to Moreno is complete. That's a first down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Another NFL Today update. JB and Shannon.
Greg Cincy's still in the hunt.
The Raiders did so bad, the Bengals receiver said, to make it fair, we're going to catch the ball with one hand. And Mohamed Sanu did, Jay. 2-yard TD, 14-0, Bengals all over the Raiders.
Even though Dan Dierdorf is a Hall of Fame lineman, I bet you he caught one like that in his day at some point. Greg and Dan.
You caught one like that in the parking lot on the way in, JB.
Most of my receptions like that were when I was sleeping. Somewhere in a really happy dream.
On first down, quick pass. Jacob Tanny, the tight end, out to the 40-yard line. Derek Johnson made the stop there.
And that's Tammy and Joel Dreesen have just really slid right into the role of Dallas Clark and other tight ends that have been the beneficiary of a Peyton Manning offense. Manning just loves to work the middle of the field with these guys.
Another quick pass to the outside, and that catch is made again by Moreno to the 45-yard line and a first down.
You know, it's really hard to document how far Knowshon Moreno had plummeted in Denver. He fumbled in the second game of the year in Atlanta, got benched, and then really inactive for the last 8 games, relegated to the scout team, where he won Scout Team Player of the Week a couple times. You know, that's not normally where first-round draft choices, that's not where they aspire to be, winning that Scout Team award.
The rookie Ronnie Hillman is in the backfield now on first down. Play fake to him, and Manning looking deep, going deep, and double covered and intercepted by Brandon Flowers. Flowers looking to flip it back, and he does to Abram Elam, and Elam brings it back to about the 20-yard line.
Well, every now and then, Peyton Manning shows us that he is human, because why on earth he throws this football, I have no idea. His receiver was never open.
Peyton Manning throwing his 8th pick of the season. And it's the Chiefs. Quick pass out to the side. That's complete to Dwayne Bowe. And Bowe across the 30 for a first down. Let's go back to that interception.
You know, I couldn't believe Peyton threw the ball because when you look, here's Eric Decker right here. But watch, he is totally bracketed from the very beginning by two Kansas City Chiefs. Flowers on the inside. Look at that. You know, that's what Peyton sees when he releases the football. And he was his only receiver that was double covered, and yet Peyton chose to try to force it to Decker. That is just the type of decision Peyton Manning characteristically doesn't make.
Charles, near side. Run out of bounds at about the 35-yard line by Mike Adams. You know, and Peyton Manning says, you know, he's had experience back when he was at Indy playing against Romeo Crennel's defenses, and he says sometimes Romeo gets a little sneaky. He'll rush 3 and drop 8 on you.
Yeah, and some of those, you know, of course, were in New England, and Romeo has been around for a long time, just as number 18 has, and he's always so good at identifying the coverages and finding the single coverage and the weakness in a defense.
Second and 6 and movement on the right side.
Embarrassing.
Looks like Moeaki.
False start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, there's Greg, in your defense, no question Moeaki moved as well, but I think 3 Kansas City Chiefs moved on that one, and it's only one gets the special thrill of being singled out.
Referee's choice. I saw you.
I'm sure Moeaki's back in the huddle going, thank you.
Yes.
I'll get it from the coaches, but at least I didn't get it from Jerome Boger.
Second and 11.
Adam.
Here's where things can get hairy in the passing game.
Quinn got rid of it and overthrew and threw it out of bounds on this side of the field, and we get another update from JB and Shannon.
Shannon, Cleveland's effort's been there all year.
Yes, after Isaac Redmond fumbled on his own 10. Brandon Whedon, I like a guy with 2 first names. Jordan Cameron catches this 10-yard touchdown pass. Cleveland on top, 10-7.
Greg Gumbel, Dan Dierdorf.
I think it would be a mistake to overlook these Cleveland Browns just yet.
We saw that last week in Dallas, didn't we? A feisty bunch.
Feisty defines what these Chiefs have been so far. We have 10-13 to play here in the first half. We have a 6-0 lead. Running out of time and got the timeout.
He got it just in time.
Last timeout, Kansas City.
So Kansas City burns a timeout here with 10-13 to play in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 11 when we come back to Arrowhead Stadium in a moment. Back for 3rd and 11 for the Chiefs. From their own 30-yard line, and Quinn the shotgun. Quick blitz, that pass is complete, and out across the 40, 45, midfield is Moeaki for a first down. Good job by Brady Quinn of standing in the face of the blitz.
Well, and getting rid of it in a hurry and identifying where his blitz beater is. Working the left side of the field the whole way. And a couple of Broncos are there, but they're not in a position to defend the pass. And Moeaki, that's a pretty easy completion. Well done. Kansas City right now is playing pretty good football.
In Denver territory at the 49-yard line. He gives to Jamal Charles, and Charles is met with vigor by Kevin Vickerson.
Well, this Denver defense, they played so well a year ago. I mean, Tim Tebow got all the publicity, but the reason that they won those games down the stretch was how well their defense played. And Dennis Allen, their defensive coordinator, gets the head coaching job in Oakland out of it. And they're very fortunate to have the guy we just saw, Jack Del Rio, after 9 years in Jacksonville. He is a defensive mastermind.
Brady Quinn, pass over the middle, and that's complete inside the 45 to McCluster to about the 43.
But again, just the kind of completion that makes 3rd down a little more manageable. Now, Brady Quinn's not exactly working both sides of the field with his eyes, but his guys are getting some separation right now. They are they are separating from the Denver defenders more often than not.
And now Quinn looking at a 3rd and 4. Looks left and is going to run for it. Tucks it away. Slides down. And we have a penalty mark.
This flag way back upfield by the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense. Number 71. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
That's the rookie left guard, Jeff Allen.
Well, a pair of rookies having to man the left side of the offensive line for Kansas City. Allen, their 2nd-round pick. Right there in the middle. Right there. He's got his hand all the way across the front of Derek Wolfe, number 95. And when you're out in the open like that, that's where you really get caught. Now, they've been keeping a tight end to that side to help out Stevenson, the rookie left tackle. But it's tough enough in the NFL without starting a pair of rookies on your offensive line.
So now 3rd and 14. Quinn with time, and that's complete. And to the 40 is Dwayne Bowe, and just short of a 1st down. And will Romeo Crennel go for it or not? No sign of the punter on the field. And Brady Quinn says, let's go for it. And they will.
Because they actually have, it's less than a yard. And, what does Romeo Crennel and his Kansas City team have to lose? This is, if there's a luxury of being 1-9, this is it.
You see how successful the Chiefs have been on 4th downs this year so far. Quinn with no one in the backfield with him. And a whistle before the sneak, and they took a timeout.
Before the snap, Kansas City called timeout. Their 2nd.
Wow. Cancel that 1st down.
We're back in Kansas City, and Romeo Crennel was unhappy as he's unloading. Oh, geez, and here's a false start. Now, Denver jumped. The question's going to be, were they in the neutral zone, and did they draw Kansas City into an involuntary
Kevin
reflex
Dickerson
action?
was involved.
At first glance, it looked like Denver reset. Dickerson moved first. Did he get back?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense. Number 99. 5-yard penalty resulting in a 1st down.
There's Dickerson right there. And you can see he's in the neutral zone, no question about it. And Eric Winston, the right tackle. Now, that was hardly an instinctive reaction.
That's a smart reaction by
Well,
Eric
it's
Winston.
smart as long as he gets away with it, and Winston got away with it that time. That rule was to protect the offensive lineman who immediately reacted.
First down at the 35.
A veteran move by Winston worked.
Charles for about a yard and a half, maybe 2. Derek Wolfe, the rookie defensive end out of Cincinnati, with the stop. And we come up on 7 minutes to play.
And one of the things that's really working to Kansas City's advantage so far, they have run 27 plays to this point. They've still got the football. Peyton Manning and the Broncos have run 14. They've doubled them up in plays so far here in the first half.
On 2nd and 9, Quinn throwing his side to McCluster, and McCluster can't break away from the first hit. And he's down at about the 33-yard line. Tonight, on 60 Minutes, Lara Logan travels to Africa with legendary filmmakers to show you big cats like you've never seen them before. 60 Minutes tonight.
Well, here again, these are the kind of situations. 3rd and long for any offense is not desirable. But it's made even worse when you've got rookies on your offensive line and against a couple of the game's premier pass rushers of Hooverville and Miller.
Quinn on the move and goes down. Back at the 42-yard line, Wesley Woodyard his 4th sack of the season.
And if there was any prospect of a field goal, that went up in smoke with that sack. And again, Wesley Woodyard has just come on. He got to play because of the suspension of DJ Williams. He was predominantly a special teams guy, and now he has become a good player from the line of scrimmage to the point that Williams isn't on the verge of getting his job back. Woodyard is keeping it.
Dustin Colquitt looking to pin the Broncos deep, and the fair catch is called for and made by Jim Leonard back at the 6-yard line. Peyton Manning operating out of a hole when we come back. There's a lot to be said about playing for pride in the NFL, and you can see that the Chiefs' defense has stood up very well against the potent Broncos offense so far. 5:15 to play in the first half.
Well, the Chiefs' defense hasn't been the reason that they're 1-9.
Manning pulls it down, throws over the middle, and that's grabbed by Thomas. And Demaryius Thomas across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Well, so much talent in Demaryius Thomas. Peyton told us he's never had a receiver this big, this physical. And then once he gets the ball in his hands, it's a luxury to be 6'3", 230 pounds. And he's not afraid to lower the shoulder and go after it.
This is Moreno. And Moreno picks his spot right up the middle across the 30 to about the 32.
Man, it's not every day you see an NFL running back come to almost a complete stop and wait for the hole to open up. But then, you know, Moreno, he almost comes to a complete stop before he accelerates. That's about as little as you'll see an RB move, and then no backside pursuit coming from Kansas City, and Knowshon Moreno took advantage.
So 2 quick first downs for the Broncos, and they're out to their own 31. Play fake to Moreno this time. Manning under pressure and throws and hits Stokely. Stokely across the middle, inside the 40 to about the 38.
Brandon Stokely said, "I was finished. I thought I had played my last snap in the NFL until Peyton Manning called." And what he does so well, working the intermediate part of the field. And then the safety, Lewis, he makes a mistake of thinking that Stokely's going to go out of bounds. And he does not, and picks up about another 5.
Another first down. Moreno running room, left side. Inside the 30.
Well, we talk about setting the edge. That was the disappearing edge. That was just superbly blocked by the guys from Denver. They just wiped out that side of the Kansas City defense. And Moreno is starting to get his legs under it.
2nd and 1. Blocking and met at about the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he got the first down. He's about a yard shy of it, looks like, from here. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, again, we talk about setting the edge. Watch right in front of you, Justin Houston, number 50. He's riding the outside shoulder of the offensive lineman, and then he just doesn't give ground, keeps that outside shoulder, and comes off and makes the play. That's textbook on how you do it.
Manning going to go from the shotgun on 3rd and 1. Throws outside, and that is caught.
Well, this is
right at the first down marker by Joel Dreesen.
This is all about forward progress here.
And we hit the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Kansas City pitching a shutout. We remind you, coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and the coach for all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Meanwhile, John Fox has been waiting for his offense to do what they do best, and on this drive, they've finally done it. They did measure for the first down, and they do have a first down at the Kansas City 28. Denver has all 3 of the timeouts remaining. Kansas City down to 1.
Well, the difference on this drive is that Denver's been successful running the football. Moreno's got 5 carries now, and he's up to averaging 5 yards a carry.
Manning looking, got hit from behind and goes down at the 33. Justin Houston again.
And again, Peyton couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. He had all the time in the world. He's in the pocket, he just can't find, he's not even close to cocking and throwing. And looking downfield, there's Jacob Tamme. He's knocked clear out of the play, and Tamme looks like he's hurt. But Peyton had absolutely nowhere to go with that. He's lucky he didn't fumble.
2nd and 14. Manning over the middle, wide open, inside the 15 is Tamme.
I guess Tamme wasn't hurt very badly, was he?
All the way to the 11 and a first down.
He looked hobbled after that last play. Again, how many times? Look how Peyton delivers that football where Tamme can take it in stride, turn upfield immediately. Peyton Manning, I couldn't even, a calculator would melt trying to figure out how many times he's hit a crossing pattern in his career.
First and goal. We are down to 40 seconds to play in the first half. Moreno. Maybe a yard before Derek Johnson made the stop.
They take a timeout here, sir.
And they stop the clock with 32 seconds to play. Denver with 2 timeouts remaining, trailing by 6. Dan, a lot of teams would have to settle sometimes for a field goal, but in this situation, if you've got Peyton Manning on the field, do you go for the touchdown?
Well, let me tell you something. Both corners for Kansas City are 5'9". Thomas is 6'3", Decker is 6'3", Tamme 6'3", Dreesen 6'4".
I think I have your answer.
Yes.
On 2nd and goal, Manning throwing outside, and that is complete and hit is Decker. Probably a 1-yard gain there to the 8 and another timeout.
Great tackle by Arenas. Javier Arenas, that was just perfect. Inbounds, you force Denver to use another timeout, and you give up 1 yard in the process. That's how you do it. I'm sure when Peyton threw this football, he's going, well, it's going to be a short completion, but we'll get a clock stoppage because we'll get out of bounds. And Decker can't get there because of that outstanding tackle by Arenas. But again, the big height advantage going to Denver here, Demaryius Thomas can really elevate.
11th play of an 87-yard drive so far for Manning and the Broncos. 3rd and goal.
Demaryius Thomas there at the top.
Manning got rid of it at the goal line. Touchdown, Jacob Tamme.
Again, tight ends between the numbers. Man, that is in Peyton's wheelhouse. There you got Jacob Tamme, the little jerk route, facing it to the outside, back to the inside. That is so difficult to defend. And Peyton with a little pocket movement, and even under pressure, he ends up getting thrown to the ground by Tyson Jackson. Banged his head a little bit, but again, he delivered a perfect pass to Jacob Tamme, his old Indianapolis teammate.
His 25th touchdown pass of the season. That's the 14th time in his career. 25 or more TD passes in a season.
And here's Kansas City, just as played so well all half. And if this is good, they're going to be behind going in at halftime.
And they are by a score of 7-6.
Again, they settled for field goals in the red zone, and Denver settled for a touchdown in the red zone. Again, Brandon Stokely takes the crowd into the end zone. And that's under pressure. That's just a perfect throw from Peyton Manning. And good job by Jacob Tamme of fighting his way into the end zone. Eric Berry just not able to get him to the ground.
Peyton Manning has thrown 8 touchdowns in the month of November. Chiefs quarterbacks have combined for 6 touchdown passes all season long. And as we just mentioned, for the 14th time in his season, he's reached the 25 passing touchdown mark.
You think we would ever get tired of sitting down at a table and talking football with Peyton Manning? It's one of the most enjoyable experiences that I've ever had as long as I've been in this game, is sitting and talking to Peyton Manning.
Only if for no other reason that he is just so straightforward and honest about his feelings about the game and what he does, how he goes about business. It was really interesting to hear him talk about the prospects of him, about the whole year that he sat out last year and whether or not he'd be able to come back or not. Sean Drone is deep. And doesn't look like he'll return this one. And he will not. It'll be a touchback and come out to the 20-yard line. Hey, last month, as part of the NFL's Play 60 initiative, the Denver Broncos invited some of the local kids onto their home turf for an afternoon of activities. Led by Wesley Woodyard, the kids ran through a host of activities inside and out of the stadium and also had the chance to mingle with their favorite Broncos. NFL Play 60 is a national youth health and fitness campaign focused on increasing the health of young fans by encouraging them to be active for at least 60 minutes a day.
What a great program and an opportunity to actually shake hands and get up close to an NFL player. How cool for those kids.
Brady Quinn takes a knee, and that will do it for the first half. Kansas City led almost the entire first half. A late Peyton Manning touchdown, and it's 7-6 Broncos at the break. Say this for the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of pride coming out here today. Back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Manning looking deep and double covered and intercepted.
Oh, a knuckleball there.
At the goal line, touchdown, Jacob Tamme. And back at Arrowhead Stadium, there is our score as we get set to start the second half. Denver by 1 by a score of 7-6. Remember, follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Full games, highlights, and more at itunes.com/NFL. Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf back with you. And Peyton Manning has had things going all his own way the last several weeks for these Denver Broncos, but the Chiefs have made him earn everything today, haven't they?
It has been a struggle. He's been under some pressure, and the pass rush from Kansas City has been fairly effective. This was just really a bad decision on Manning's part, throwing into double coverage. Flowers with the interception, indicative of some of the pressure, and he did move. He beat the pressure that time to get the ball to Jacob Tamme for the touchdown. And look at Brady Quinn, 9 of 11. Granted, not a lot of yards, but Peyton Manning got the one touchdown, but he has the one interception that kind of mars things. You knew that ruined a half for Manning.
And the Denver Broncos are going to get the ball first here in the second half. This is Holiday from the goal line. Outside, cuts it down, and out of bounds just about the 45-yard line. Some numbers from the first half: rushing yardage favoring the Chiefs, passing yardage favoring Peyton Manning and the Broncos. And Kansas City had the ball most of the time, but you know those trips into the red zone that came away with field goals rather than touchdowns may cost them in the long run, Dan.
Yeah, they always do. They seem 90% of the time. Let's not forget Trendon Holiday here. What if he's not becoming one of the best return men in the game? Already a punt return and a kickoff return for a touchdown.
56 is mine.
Almost broke that one.
42-yard line. Play fake. Manning over the middle and caught at about the 40-yard line by Stokely.
Well, I don't think anybody hit that ball. That thing kind of wobbled on its way to Brandon Stokely. Again, working against the Kansas City zone. There's the soft spot right in the middle. But that ball was a bit of a knuckleball from Peyton. Stokely, I'm sure when that was halfway on the way there, went, whoa, what is this?
in the books as a first down pass. And now from the 40, we give it to Moreno. And Moreno shakes the tackle and breaks it to about the 36. You know, interesting, again, going back to our conversation with Peyton, when he was talking about regaining his strength, he had to take an entirely different outlook in the weight room. And the trainer said, look, let's concentrate on the things you can do rather than what you can't do.
Because you're trying to regenerate a nerve. When it's finished for the day, it's finished. And no matter how much you want to keep working it, you're not accomplishing anything. And Peyton said, that was just really hard to accept.
On 2nd and 6, far side of the field, and he's got his man Eric Decker. Decker out of bounds, just shy of the 20-yard line. That's another first down.
Again, looking at Eric Decker working downfield, and against Jaleel Brown. And again, Brown didn't have any awareness of where the football was. No question, Decker gets many feet, but right there, his right leg, just that right foot, about 2 or 3 inches out of bounds.
How funny was it talking to Eric Decker and comparing last year to this year? He said last year, well, the adjustment to Peyton has been slow this year because basically he said last year was like running a wing T.
Well, it was just, they went to that option, veer, whatever you want to call it, offense that Tebow ran in the second half of the season. And let's face it, who wants to be a wide receiver in that offense? It's not what they dream about. This is
2nd and 6. Manning with the quick pitch to the 15-yard line to the tight end, Joel Dreesen.
And this is where Peyton Manning, being so patient, will wear a defense out. His willingness to just take the short completion but set up a more manageable third down. It's just, he's so content to take what, even if it's little things, if the defense is giving it to you, he will take it over and over.
Now the Chiefs fans to their feet on 3rd and 4. Manning throwing and incomplete at the 5-yard line. Intended for Demaryius Thomas.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to number 30, Jaleel Brown. That was sensational coverage by the Kansas City Chiefs. That he forces this throw from Peyton Manning. Look how he's taken away up short, and he's got no alternative but to lay that ball out there where Demaryius Thomas has to leave his feet to go get it.
Matt Prater missed from 47 yards out in the first half. This one from 33. And he pulled that one off the upright. Something else for the Chiefs fans to cheer about. Matt Prater has missed as many field goals today as he had all season long coming in. It's still a 7-6 game, and now Brady Quinn for Jamal Charles. Charles finding running room out to about the 28-yard line. Hey, tomorrow, when two broke girls get a business opportunity, they'll do anything to make it happen. Catch a new episode tomorrow, only CBS.
And that's exactly what Kansas City has to do, just go back to the running game. It was very effective for them in the first half. They got a couple of penalties that hurt them on a couple drives, but by and large, they've been getting some pretty good movement up front.
On 2nd and 5, Charles, running room, 35, out to the 39, close to the 40-yard line, and that's enough for the first down.
Boy, you're getting some of their offensive linemen are getting some really good blocks, and the Broncos are having trouble shedding these blocks. Von Miller gets upfield. He sets the edge, but there's no pursuit back to the inside from the Broncos defense. Miller turns it back to the inside, but a huge hole. And take a look, a great block by Jamar Newsom, who just got elevated.
Play fake, Quinn. And that's complete close to midfield to Jamar Newsom.
Newsom was on the practice squad yesterday and just activated, and he's making himself known to he's probably got to introduce himself to a few of these guys. Not really. He practices with him every day, but just trying to make a point. Kind of exciting to be on the practice squad on Saturday morning, and then on Sunday afternoon you're not only suited up, but you're a real part of things.
On first down, Charles again, and Charles with running room off the right side to the 40, and that's another Kansas City first down.
Well, again, Jamal Charles, and again, this time to the inside. Von Miller gets pinned, but the backside pursuit of the Broncos is late getting there. Elvis Dumervil finally comes all the way across and makes a play, but wow, those are some big holes that Jamal Charles is finding early here in the third quarter.
We're going to give it to him again, and this time he tripped up on his way to the line of scrimmage, and he's across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Denver in the push and really in charge in the AFC West.
Well, they're in the charge, but let's face it, they're going to win the AFC West. Nothing could happen, I think, to keep that from happening. They want one of the 2 seeds where you sit at home. Well, Houston clearly in control, and Baltimore is in control of that number 2 seed. But there's a huge game in 3 weeks where Denver goes to Baltimore. But that game is going to be tarnished a little bit if they slip up here.
On 2nd and 8, we give it to Charles, and Charles to about the 37-yard line. Go back to your tool for success for these Kansas City Chiefs at the start of the day, Dan, to do what you do best.
Again, Brady Quinn making the start today as Matt Castle has been benched. And Romeo is coaching them up. Yeah, again, look how well they've run the football. 145 yards a game is getting it done.
Meanwhile, Peyton Manning relegated to a phone call on the sideline. 3rd and 7. Quinn throwing, and that's complete to the 31-yard line, but that appears to be just short of a first down. Romeo, what do you do?
Well, he went for it. He showed earlier in this game in the first half that he was willing to go for it. And
He's
now
coming out with the field goal unit.
And now he's not, and it's even a shorter, it was about 2 feet before when he went for it. Remember, Denver jumped off sides. This one is only a foot. This is kind of surprising, to tell you the truth.
49-yard field goal attempt for the lead from Ryan Succop.
I'm really surprised he didn't go for it here.
Kick is on its way and looks pretty good. Chiefs lost a 9-6 game to Baltimore earlier this year. They lead this one 9-7. Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. I suppose when you've been starving, a piece of straw to chew on is pretty good, and that might be the approach of the Kansas City fans here today. Trindon Holiday is deep. Holiday will not run this one out of the end zone, and they'll come out to the 20-yard line. When we come back to Kansas City, Peyton Manning and the Denver offense, they trail by 2. In the absence of Willis McGahee, Denver has run the ball just 8 times compared to Peyton throwing it 23 times, with Kansas City sticking to their ground attack.
And Noshawn Moreno has all 8 of those carries.
Manning throwing on first down, far side of the field, and knocked down, intended for number 84, the tight end, Jacob Tamme. Hey, thanks to all of you. The American Red Cross has been helping thousands affected by Hurricane Sandy get back on their feet on this Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks to all of you for making a real difference. Learn more at redcross.org. CBS cares.
Tamme had no chance on that reception. Great coverage by Eric Berry.
On 2nd and 10, this is Moreno, and Moreno running room as we get a flag in the backfield as he's out to the 35. And this will be a hold, it appears, on the Broncos. No, take that back.
Illegal use of hands. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
It's on the defensive end, Tyson Jackson.
Well, Tyson Jackson was the number 1 pick back in 09 from LSU. And boy, that was, you're right, when you normally see that flag go down, Greg, you automatically assume it's against the offense. You don't see that called very often.
So first down at the 40, and Ronnie Hillman is in the backfield now. The third-round draft pick out of San Diego State. And his first carry of the day bounces it to the outside. Looking for a first down marker and very close to it at midfield before he is banged out of bounds by Kendrick Lewis.
Yeah, all indications were that Hillman was going to get a fair amount of work today. He's a liability in the passing game. His blitz pickups aren't anywhere near where they need to be. Manning, the whole offense doesn't really trust him in that situation, but he is the fastest, the quickest, and the most explosive of the Denver running backs. And again, with Willis McGahee out, we'll see if he gets any more work in the second half.
He got the first down. Moreno replaces him in the backfield. Play fake to Moreno. Manning stepping up, looking, and goes down. And there is Tyson Jackson with a sack.
But again, that's the third time that Peyton Manning can find absolutely nowhere to go with the football. You know, he's got a good pocket initially. He's got all sorts of time, and it's not like he's getting tackled as he's getting set to throw. He wasn't anywhere near getting ready to release a pass. We saw Decker covered. There's Stokely covered. The back end of Kansas City just shut them down.
Second and 10. Moreno picking up about 8, and it'll be third and about 2.
Well, after being inactive for 8 games, you certainly have fresh legs. And Sean Moreno's running pretty hard today.
And Peyton Manning said, too, he hasn't been playing special teams or anything. He's as fresh as they come. Third and 2.
Unfortunately, he hasn't been as productive as they come. His career in these 4 years since he was the #1 pick has been disappointing.
Manning, crossing pattern, got his man Jacob Tamme, loose ball, and it is marked down by contact at the 30-yard line.
And Tammy's holding the ball up as he ultimately ended up with it again. But let's take a look as he gets his legs taken out from under him. And no question, he's got control of the football. Brown upends him, and the ball doesn't come loose until the forearm lands on the turf.
And we have a player down at about the 34-yard line. That is number 23, Kendrick Lewis. We'll check on him and take a break. Kendrick Lewis was able to walk off the field under his own power. He's been replaced by Travis Daniels, number 34 at safety. First down for Manning and the Broncos at the Kansas City 30. Manning to throw. Far sideline. Touchdown, Demaryius Thomas. And Manning's pass right on the money.
And not only was that a great pass, but what a catch by Demaryius Thomas looking back into the sun. Most of this field is in the shade, but watch when he breaks into the sun right there. Look how that sun completely in his face, and yet somehow he tracks the football right into his hands. A perfect pass from Manning, but again, I think that's sensational by Demaryius Thomas, being able to concentrate, focus on that football, looking right up into the big light in the sky.
Demaryius Thomas' 6th touchdown catch of the season. The extra point is good, and 4:41 to play in the third now, and the Denver Broncos off to a 14-9 lead on Kansas City. $80-yard drive, 7 plays, the last 30 of them, a Manning to Thomas touchdown, and it's a 14-9 Kansas City lead with 4:41 to play here in the third quarter.
Pretty cool for Demaryius Thomas being tied with Calvin Johnson on those explosive plays.
Sean Drone is deep. yard deep in the end zone. Thrown to about the 20-yard line, brought down by Danny Trevathan. Hey, Saturday, a BCS title shot could be in play. A.J. McCarron and the Crimson Tide up against Aaron Murray and the Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC Championship. It all begins with CBS College Football Championship Saturday and college football today. Dan, when we were talking with Brady Quinn, he was all a glitter about his Fighting Irish, wasn't he?
Well, why wouldn't he be? They're number 1, undefeated, waiting for the winner of that game. That's big boy football right there. Alabama, Georgia. The winner of that game will play Notre Dame for the whole bag of marbles.
Jamal Charles, right side. Let's go back to the touchdown pass.
Yeah, it's a great job. They've been doing so good across the middle. Here's Stokely right here. When he comes into the middle, he's going to occupy the safety, which means Peyton Manning knows that Demaryius Thomas to the outside has got single coverage. The safety isn't going to be able to get over there, and even looking back into the sun, Demaryius Thomas able to secure that football, never even juggles it. And, just looking at how bright that sun is, I'm really surprised he was able to handle the football that cleanly.
Quinn to throw on 2nd and 8. On the move, looking, throws, complete. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line is Dwayne Bowe. And we have a flag.
They're talking to Donald Stevenson, the rookie left tackle.
Right now they're talking amongst themselves.
Well, I have no problem with this because you just want to make sure you get it right. If one guy sees something and 2 or 3 other guys saw something else, sometimes you pick it up. As long as they don't pull out Barca loungers and take an extended break.
Serve coffee.
At the end of the play, personal foul, clipping, offense number 79. 15-yard penalty from the start of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
That's the rookie Donald Stevenson. Let's see what happened.
All right, let's watch him. There he is right there. That's Justin Bannon. And he does roll him up from behind. And that play was over. And that's
no need for it.
No, there was no need for that. I admire the kids' hustle being downfield, but you got to be smarter than that. You can't. First of all, there's a real potential for hurting a guy, and you're out in the middle. You're not going to get away with it. I'm sure in his mind he thought maybe he was parallel to him and was at the side, but even so, it was very late.
So it's 2nd and 12. And we get a penalty. This one came from the near side of the field.
Come on, Winston!
We're having another mini conference.
Jerome, what say you?
There is no foul on the play for 12 men on the defense. 2nd down.
My guess is there's no foul for 12 men on the defense because there were only 11 men.
Quick, where's the calculator? Where's the abacus?
That qualifies as an oops. Jack Del Rio telling us what? I feel completely rejuvenated. Being in Denver and being a defensive coordinator. Not that he doesn't want to be a head coach again.
Quinn, quick pass. That's complete. Out to the 30-yard line to Terrence Copper. Let's get another update from the NFL today. JB and SS.
Shannon, weather forecast in Miami, 74 and clear, no rain for the next 2 days.
Until Dan Marino turned the sprinklers on. He's like, I need every advantage I can get from my hometown Dolphins. Come on, guys. It's not that bad yet. 14-7 over Miami.
Greg and Dan, I know you guys have seen some home cooking before. Back to Greg and Dan.
Well, when you haven't showered yet at the start of the day, that comes in handy.
I did a game in Jacksonville one time where that happened, where the game was on a Saturday, and that was the day they normally water the field, and they forgot to adjust the system.
That old irrigation offense at work. Hey, vote to send your favorite players to the 2013 Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Vote online or with your mobile device at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text Pro Bowl to MyNFL. You vote, they play. As far as who's done well today, well, Peyton Manning recovered from a slow start, 18 of 24.
Well, how about Brady Quinn? I mean, 13 of 15. How impressive is that?
Quietly efficient.
Yep. And again, good running by both of these guys, although Jamal Charles started really, quickly, had a lot of opening, and it slowed down a little bit. Demarius Thomas, though, that touchdown reception of his was special.
52! Under! 52's Mike! 52's Mike! Omaha!
Kansas City has already eclipsed what Denver's rush defense. And now it looks like movement in the backfield.
Yeah. Well, Brady, you could hear the hard count that Brady Quinn tried to get the defense, and he ended up getting one of his own guys. Listen to it, how hard he yells.
Omaha!
Man, what happens? You can't be paying attention in the huddle, or what?
I have to admit, I've done it before. You just can't believe that you twitched like that. It's so irritating. You're so upset with yourself.
Instead of 3rd and 1, 3rd and 6. Quinn throwing behind Charles, incomplete. And there's a flag after that hit on the far side.
Well, Wesley Woodyard came in and really unloaded on Jamar. Are they going to say that Charles was defenseless?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 52. Helmet-to-helmet contact on the receiver. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, 52 is really upset about this call.
Well, he unloads, and he does. He unloads, and he hits him right in the face with his helmet. Again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know the emphasis the league is putting on trying to do away with hits like that. He didn't have the football, and you could have done something else. It's that plain and simple.
So the ball moves out to the 40-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Jamal Charles for about 5 to the 45. Once again, back to the sprinkler guys in New York.
Pittsburgh turnovers hurting them.
Their 4th one on the day leads to this, a Trent Richardson 15-yard touchdown. No ties today, Coach. 2014, Cleveland over the Steelers.
Round 17 points off of turnovers, Greg. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, JB. Shannon, thanks much.
Again, we saw Cleveland last week as they were leading Dallas deep into the game.
And around, Terrence Copper looking for a block, and he'll only gain about a yard on the play to the 46. Derek Wolfe trailing that play made the tackle.
On Raheem Moore, the safety, turned it back to the inside. That was a good job by Moore of spinning it back in there where Wolfe could do his job.
So now 3rd and 4 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And these fans just sitting here desperate for something good to happen for their Chiefs.
It's not that cold. I think she's covered up with hangers.
Quinn on the move, penalty marker down, and the pass is thrown away.
I think we have a massive hold.
And my guess is there's a chance Denver will turn this down.
Number 73. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That'll bring the punting unit onto the field.
John Asamoah, the right guard, had a full-blown tackle.
But when things have not been going well, as they have not been in Kansas City, boy, harsh things have been said, tempers have flared. The fan base has been unruly at times.
Well, 1 and 9 isn't acceptable anyway.
Jim Leonard will let this one go. It's into the end zone for the touchback. Hey, nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Break down all the NFL action on NFL Monday QB tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
You know, Greg, you mentioned about Kansas City here. Let's be real. Scott Pioli, the general manager, is in his 4th year. He's on his 2nd coach. Todd Haley's already been fired and moved on. And you know, in the 4th year, he's bearing the brunt of a lot of the fans' criticism, saying after this amount of time that they want to see more improvement instead of regressing.
Moreno. Oh, nice play in the backfield. Tackle is made by Eric Berry, the 3rd-year safety out of Tennessee.
You know, and one thing that bears saying, and we've said it earlier in this telecast, is they're not 1-9 because of this defensive football team. This defense is not bad at all, and that's a good look at it there. That tackle by Eric Berry. They got a lot of number 1 picks over there. It's their inability to score points on offense that has dragged this team down.
Bronco after Bronco said they don't look like 1-9 on defense. Quick pass over the middle, and that's complete to Moreno, and Moreno out to about the 34-yard line for a first down. How many times today has Peyton Manning completed a quick little flip over the middle for yardage?
Well, he's been working between the numbers, and he's killing the Chiefs in there. That's Moreno's 4th reception. And I know Sean Moreno has answered the bell. He has gotten his chance to play, and through 3 quarters, he has accounted himself pretty well.
You asked John Fox, would it be fair if this is his last shot? And John Fox said, yeah, it's his chance to prove something. End of 3, 14-9 Broncos. Back after this message and a word from your local station. Along with our producer, Mark Wolf, our director, Bob Fishman, and our terrific turkey-eating CBS Sports crew, Craig Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, at Arrowhead Stadium as we start the 4th quarter. First down from the 44-yard line for Manning. Pass out here to Decker, who dropped the ball.
Oh, they had a nice slip screen set up. It's a great blitz beater, the slip screen, and he's got a couple blockers. He's got Stokely ready to throw a block right out in front of him. He's got Tammy right there out in front, and it just not able to handle it. Pass had a little wobble to it.
Eric Decker played outfield at Minnesota. Couldn't pull that one in. Manning throwing. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
And I don't know what that... Now that was a complete and utter misfire.
Even Peyton looks like he's just shrugging his shoulders.
Well, I think, you know, again, I think we're seeing that Peyton Manning is returning from injury is still a work in progress.
3rd and 10. The Chiefs fans are on their feet. Manning throwing this side, midfield, complete to Decker.
Well, what a treat for a receiver like Eric Decker to make his break and come out of that cut, and there's the football. And that was, again, the Kansas City coverage. Brandon Flowers was right there. His fingertips had to be within a couple of inches of hitting that football, but yet it's still a first down completion.
From the Kansas City 49, this is Moreno, and nowhere to go, and he's buried. He'll lose yardage on the play.
Well, Tyson Jackson, he's the guy that got the penetration and drove.
Excuse me, that's Ronnie Hillman carry, not Moreno.
Tyson Jackson got the penetration there and knocked the Denver offensive line into the backfield. Peyton Manning getting everybody where he wants them.
56! 56! 4!
Manning going to go deep. Incomplete. Intended for Demaryius Thomas and covered by Jaleel Brown. It'll be 3rd and 12, and once again, Chiefs with a chance to get the ball back.
Denver's had some success outside the numbers, but when they have, they've had to beat pretty good coverage to do it. Most of their openings have been inside the numbers in the middle of the field. The Kansas City secondary, by and large, has played pretty good football today. I know Denver's racking up a lot of yards, but their coverage, man, it's been fairly tight.
Manning, under pressure, slips out of trouble and throws incomplete. A concerted pass rush on Peyton Manning that time.
Well, Peyton with good pocket awareness is forced to move. Knowshon Moreno gets knocked back a little bit. He's trying to buy a little extra time. Good job, though, of Kansas City defensively forcing this punt.
That's Javier Arenas back at his own 10-yard line. Fair catch called for and made at the 21-yard line, so that'll be pretty decent field position for the Kansas City offense, which has been led today by Jamaal Charles. Will he carry the load now? First and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs. 13-19 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs have been horrible giving the football away, haven't done it yet today. But offensively, they haven't scored a touchdown in their last 11 quarters. This is Charles. Out to the 23.
I think if you'd have asked Romeo Crennel that in the fourth quarter Denver had 14 points, he'd go, sign me up for that. Sign me up. The problem is this offense just can't score. Keep in mind, in their last 6 games, the most they've scored is 16 points. And their offensive production in 6 games, 9 points, 10 points, 16, 13, 13, and 6.
You cannot win. In 4 of those games, they didn't even score 14.
You cannot win in this league scoring like that.
Charles, left side running room. And pushed out of bounds close to the 40-yard line by Woodyard.
Well, again, Jamaal Charles gets to the outside, and the edge is sealed by good blocking. And that time at the very end, it was a good block on the outside by Maneri. And again, Jamaal Charles, when he's gotten to the perimeter, has found some big openings against this Denver defense. Brian Dable there, the offensive coordinator. But they need points.
Charles again. And there will be no gain on that play. Mitch Unrein making the stop. Clock continues to move. We are under 12 minutes to play in regulation.
And we talked about that Brady Quinn is the answer at quarterback for the rest of their season. But really, this is a franchise now that going to the future doesn't have a quarterback. I think it's pretty apparent it's not going to be Matt Castle, and I highly doubt it's going to be Brady Quinn.
2nd and 10. Quinn going to go deep down the far sideline. It is incomplete. Pass intended for Dwayne Bowe, covered by the great Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey, again, looked like he was just out for a little stroll in the park. The double move, no thanks.
And then looked for the football, and
it looked like he knew that double move was coming.
Quinn going to go deep down this sideline, and that's incomplete.
Incomplete and out of bounds. Trying to go to Newsom is recently upgraded wide receiver, and Quinn took a pretty good shot just as he released that. He was able to step into it, but he had to struggle to see the end of it. But that pass could not have been caught inbound.
Well, that's a departure from the running game. 2 deep throws, one down the far side, one the near side, and now they have to kick it to dangerous Trendon Holiday.
Oh, a 5'5".
Holiday with the fair catch close to the 10-yard line. 11:07 to play here in the fourth. Well, if you're looking for the Kansas City Chiefs to overcome this lead, you're asking the near impossible. The Denver Broncos own the fourth quarter this season.
Well, with an offense that can't score, now the pressure is on Kansas City defensively. Can they force a 3 and out? They've got to do something to help their offense.
That pass across the middle intended for Stokely, broken up by Javier Arenas, who has played a terrific game here today.
And again, another tight coverage. Peyton Manning's windows are pretty slim, and that was just superlative work by Arenas. Again, when he really needs something, Peyton goes between the numbers on some sort of a crossing pattern, middle of the field.
Here's Moreno. And Moreno. Maybe a yard.
Well, this Kansas City defense has a chance. Got a chance to give their offense some good field position.
This, Dan, may be their biggest defensive down of the day, right here. The chance to get the ball back in decent field position, if they can hold. 3rd and 8. Manning throwing outside. Oh, great defensive play on the far side of the field by Eric Berry. Pass intended for Tammy.
Well, and Tammy's been having a field day in the middle of the field, and this time Peyton sends him to the outside. And he's looking for Tammy all the way, but again, Eric Berry just lays out, gets his right hand out in front and swats away the football.
Britton Colquitt to kick it away. Javier Arenas back at his own 35.
Well, if you're not doing it offensively, maybe you could get it done special teams-wise.
So this one will roll out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line, it would appear. 10:18 to play in the 4th. Well, you heard the guys on the NFL Today talking about that Denver defense, Elvis Dumervil and Von Miller. Between them, they've only managed 1 sack today. They had 22 combined, or 21 combined coming in. Jamal Charles breaking through on the left side and close to a first down at about the 46-yard line.
Well, Denver went with a nickel defense, and they ran it against them. Well, Jamal Charles has had, he's had a pretty productive afternoon. He's been the recipient of some pretty good blocking. And again, he's not afraid to run between the tackles, head upfield for not a really big guy.
He is a truly talented runner.
Now he's up to 89 yards on the day.
2nd and 1. They'll run for it. Charles and more. Inside the Denver 45 to the 42 and a first down.
Well, take a look at the surge. The Denver defensive line getting blown off the football. They just disappear off the line of scrimmage. They were overwhelmed that time by the Kansas City offensive line. Might be time to go back and play a little heavier defense.
Jamal Charles with his 4th 100-yard rushing game of the season. The quick slant, and that is popped in the air and incomplete. Intended for Bo.
Boy, that thing stayed live long enough that Moore had a pretty good shot at it. All right, here's Champ working on Bo. Bo had it in his hands, but ooh, look how close Raheem Moore came to being able to scoop that football off the ground. If he could have got about another foot farther upfield, he might have been able to put his hands underneath it.
Brady Quinn 0 for his last 5 throwing. 2nd and 10. The pitch for Charles. Nowhere to go. Back at the 45-yard line, Wesley Woodyard.
No, good corner support that time. When Charles got out there, he saw 3 guys in Denver uniforms looking at him. Take a look at that. That's a dead play. Woodyard gets credit for the tackle, but that could have been one of any of 3 or 4 different Broncos.
Well, Brady Quinn is going to have to start completing some passes, or else Denver is just going to figure it's either Jamal Charles coming at me or going the other way. 3rd and 12.
And here's the classic Denver pass rush scenario.
And That screen just didn't develop, and Brady Quinn just tossed it into the dirt.
Well, Elvis Dumerville was standing right between Brady Quinn and his receiver. That, Denver, that's one of those deals where Denver in the huddle before the snap, they tell everybody, watch for the screen, watch for the screen. And Elvis Dumerville just stand right there, and Brady Quinn says, okay, I'll just throw it away. Just right on the left of your screen. See Dumerville standing right there? He's scared Brady Quinn into dumping it into the ground.
Jim Leonard deep for the kick coming from Dustin Colquitt.
That was a disappointing series for the Chiefs.
And this was a bounce inside the 5 and down at the 2. Special teams putting the Broncos with their backs to the wall. Nico Thorpe downing the ball at the 2. Well, this Kansas City defense has done its job today. Looking at a Broncos team that's had 30 or more points for 5 straight games. They've held them to 2 touchdowns, and now they're being asked to hold again. 8 minutes even remaining here in the fourth quarter. From the 2, quick pass, incomplete. On the outside, Demaryius Thomas threw his hands.
Well, he took his eyes off that. Demaryius Thomas just doesn't look that in. You can see his head already starting to whip upfield, looking at the defender coming at him. Didn't even come close to looking that into his hands.
He still didn't avoid the defender.
No, you're still going to get hit.
2nd and 10. Some of that old noise that you expect from Arrowhead. Out of his own end zone, Manning throwing and off the fingertips of Joel Dreesen. That's just an out-and-out drop. 3rd and 10.
Uncharacteristic here for this Denver offense. But how about the confidence that they have in Peyton Manning that throws the ball twice out of his own end zone?
In a hurry, Manning throwing up the seam, incomplete, intended for Stokely.
Well, on 2 successive possessions, the Kansas City defense gets it done.
Manning just 1 out of 10 throwing here in the fourth quarter.
And 3 consecutive incompletions, even though 2 of them, he put the football on his receiver's hands.
Arenas at midfield.
At some point in time, the Kansas City offense has just got to do, well, they don't have to, but defensively, they're going, please do something.
Britton Colquitt kicking out of his own end zone. Arenas from his own 47.
Good
Made it
coverage.
across midfield.
That was good coverage by Denver.
And Virgil Green making the stop. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS, doubleheader action. Dan and I will be down south. Tom Brady and the Patriots taking on Reggie Bush and the Dolphins. Andrew Luck leads the Colts against Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Charlie Batch and the Steelers up against Joe Flacco and the Ravens. Check your local listings, beginning with JB, Dan, Coach Shannon, and Boomer on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines.
That Pittsburgh-Baltimore game is huge.
No.
When they drew up the schedule, they knew what they were doing. Pittsburgh and Baltimore late.
First down. Midfield. Quinn throwing and threw that one too low. It was well covered. Dwayne Bowe was covered by Keith Brookings, excuse me.
The ageless Keith Brookings, 15th year in the league. And again, he does have his right hand on him, but that's okay. He didn't shove him with it. As long as you don't move the torso. Keith Brookings pretty much knows what he can and can't get away with. He's figured it out.
Charles lost the ball. And it looks like Maneri followed up and covered it up.
Boy, that was a big hit at the end of that play.
9 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Let's watch the end of this thing. Yeah, it's Raheem Moore. It's Mike Adams comes in from the side, and Raheem Moore is the deep defender that puts on a pretty good shot. But that was a live football.
On 3rd and 1, straight ahead, and we get penalty flags. Oh, this is going to be against the Chiefs.
Well, if the Denver referees are right.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And you know, the pressure to win has been building in this town and building. And players have felt it. The coaches felt it. GM Scott Pioli has felt it and heard it.
It's just those are the type of mistakes, though, that can just cripple a football team.
3rd and 6.
And that's where you've got to have a discipline. Look out, here comes Boomer.
He's going to go deep for Dwayne Bowe. Incomplete. Fans want a flag, and there's one in the backfield. Champ Bailey was on Dwayne Bowe.
You got to
Holding. Offense, number 79. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, that's Donald Stevenson, the left tackle, and he was the one working on Doomerville over there on the far side. And you're right, the crowd unhappy that Champ Bailey didn't get a call, but it looked like they just inadvertently tangled up their legs.
And we get a timeout called by the Chiefs, and that's their second used here in the second half. And you'd have to think Romeo is considering the possibility of going for it on 4th down. Let's go back to that play.
Yeah, let's go back and look at it. Dwayne Bowe and Champ Bailey. Again, Champ Bailey looking back at the football. It looks like their feet. The reality of it is, if you're looking back at the football as a defensive back, you are always going to get the benefit of the doubt from the covering official. If you're employing good technique, if you're identifying where the football is and you're running with that guy, you're going to be the beneficiary more often than not.
Chiefs are going to kick it. Dustin Colquitt.
Well, he's going to ask his defense to do it for a 3rd time in a row. And that's where that false start, Greg, just crippled.
Sky high. And a fair catch called for and made and dropped. Did he get it? He did. At the 15-yard line.
Well, they're still fighting for it, but he muffed it, no doubt about it. But
and Leonard comes out of the pack with the football.
Fortunately, he calls for the fair catch, and he just, it never did hit the ground. But he's fair game. Once he bobbles the ball like that, he loses the protection of the fair catch.
So the offense not quite in the hole it was a few minutes ago. They'll start from their own 16-yard line.
You know, you're not allowed to hit a guy when he fair catches, but once he bobbles the ball like that, that protection disappears.
I wouldn't think of hitting him before he bobbled it.
No, but after he bobbles it, he's fair game.
Both these quarterbacks here today, 0 for their last 14 throwing the football. Here's Moreno across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowher, all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show.
You know, this is where, people, we know it's a passing league. We know all this and all that. This is the time in a game where if you can run the football, it goes a long way towards winning football games. If you can grind away some yards, burn some clock, that was a good first down play with Moreno.
Sets up the 2nd and 5 from Manning. And he'll give it to Moreno coming this way. And he has a first down and more across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Travis Daniels with the tackle.
Again, they get the Kansas City defensive line running, and then Moreno cuts all the way back against the grain. He cut back about 4 holes to find himself an open.
77 yards rushing for Noshan Moreno today.
Yeah, Peyton can't be in any hurry to snap this football. Yeah, he's working the play clock here.
Go.
Moreno again. You know, and from all indications, Dan, as we dip below 5 minutes to play, every Bronco player and coach that we talk to is feeling good for Noshan Moreno right now.
Well, he's worked hard. Every one of them talked about how well he handled being demoted, not even being active, that he worked hard in practice. I'm sorry, but the scout team isn't filled with first-round draft picks. And you've got to swallow a large chunk of pride to pull that off. And apparently, from what you hear from all the guys, Noshan Moreno did it.
He did it well. 2nd and 9. To the 45, and that'll be about 3 yards short, and a little pushing and shoving in the secondary. Eric Decker involved in that.
But again, this is so effective at Peyton Manning getting the play clock inside 5 seconds every time before he snaps the ball.
We have 3:50 to play. The middle, Thomas, first down, inside the Kansas City 45-yard line.
Well, a high percentage pass from Peyton Manning, and again, they move the sticks, they keep the clock running, and a crossing pattern one more time inside the numbers. This time, Demaryius Thomas comes all the way across. So hard in man coverage to run with somebody that far, that parallel.
New set of downs from the 45.
Yeah, here comes Moreno.
Moreno again, yes.
Question is right or left. That's it. Well, Kansas City's got a lot of people in the box.
Moreno. A couple of yards.
And Kansas City only has 1 timeout left. They'll get a stoppage at the 2-minute warning. Moreno lost a shoe. He blew a tire.
Ronnie Hillman replaces him.
A little pressure on the rookie here.
Manning will have to snap the ball before the 2-minute warning comes around. Hillman going to get the carry. And we have 2 minutes to play, 1:59 to be exact. Manning and the Broncos relentless against a tough Kansas City defense. It's 14-9 Denver. A look once again at the AFC playoff picture. Indianapolis in the lead. Pittsburgh trailing in its game. Cincinnati on top. Miami tied. 3rd and 7.
Well, who's going to run the crossing pattern this time?
56 is Mike! Wow! Watch 2.
Manning looks down the sideline, and there's Thomas.
Well, that time, Peyton Manning, instead of the crossing pattern, goes to Demaryius Thomas, just flying down the field on the left sideline on a go pattern. And Jaleel Brown just way underneath. And Daniels is too deep. A huge cavity in that defense, and Peyton Manning exploits it.
First down at the 15-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And this is the kind of a drive that championship teams put together.
for about 3
Sean Moreno on the carry.
to the 12, and we get a timeout called by Kansas City. That's their third and final timeout. Demarius Thomas eclipses the 1,000 yard receiving mark for the season.
Again, this is just a demonstration of how to win football games. What Denver has done on this drive. Hats off to the Kansas City defense on the 2 previous possessions where they forced Denver to punt. They gave their offense opportunities. And it's the same story here in Kansas City. They just can't score points.
And it's just an example of what Peyton Manning brings to a team. How about Eric Decker when he was talking about practice? He goes, it gets incredibly competitive in practice, he says, especially when you're going up against the likes of Champ Bailey.
Yep. It's that type of an atmosphere when you can get that kind of work done on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Sean Moreno, 89 yards rushing on the day. Denver will take that anytime. Although he loses a couple there, back to the 15.
Sean Moreno, the ball carrier.
Now from here on out, the Denver Broncos, this is a look at their schedule. They're on the road twice. Once at Oakland, and then that game on the 16th at Baltimore.
Well, obviously Tampa Bay is that's no pushover. They're playing pretty good football. Even though they lost, it's still all about setting up that Baltimore game, and a pretty familiar face there.
John Elway.
How good a job has he done molding this Denver football team?
On 3rd and 10. Moreno trips in the backfield and then gets buried at about the 17.
Sean Moreno on the carry.
You know, John Elway, no figurehead with this Denver franchise. I mean, he has worked this deal. He won Peyton Manning's heart in the Manning Derby, and John Elway has proven himself. He has, you know, for a guy that hasn't been doing it very long, he did it in the Arena League, but John Elway has done a superb job of assembling this roster.
And the Broncos will let this wind down and then use a timeout here. And that is the first of their 3 timeouts that they've used, and it stops the clock with 18 seconds to play here in the 4th quarter. And we remind you, coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowher will have the latest NFL scores and highlights, update the playoff picture for you, all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Out on the field, Matt Prater, who has not had his best day.
Well, no, I think they'd like to get Prater to at least get his confidence level back after he's missed a couple.
From 47 and from 33. This one, he will line up from 34 yards out. And Matt Prater has never missed 3 field goals in one game. And he won't do that here either. Right through the uprights.
Well, an 8-point game. That's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This will certainly be some type of a knuckleball kick from Denver, which will force Kansas City to field it, which will burn off a couple of seconds.
Dan, going back to the value of Peyton Manning and what he can do, a 6-minute and 9-second drive, which brought them down to this point in the game.
Yeah, and that's just, like I said, that's what championship teams do. That is exerting your will on the other team as desperately as they want the football back. You don't let them have it back. Now again, this will be some type of a knuckleball, because if you kicked it out of the end zone or into the end zone and they don't return it, that doesn't burn any time off of the clock. If you keep it in the field of play and force them to field it, it'll take a couple of seconds for them to either run it or down it.
Marius Thomas has had a very productive day on the receiving end. "14 seconds on the clock. Kansas City needing a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Low ball, fumbled, and covered at the 23-yard line.
Somehow that runs 1 second off the clock.
Maybe the longest second in history.
Maybe. That clock should have started to run when that ball was first touched. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, Jerome Boger telling the clock to set at 11 seconds, and that's exactly right. That clock should have started the second it was touched by a Kansas City Chief. And now I think we're going to see the mother of all prevent defenses.
Meanwhile, the Chiefs, assuming they don't score a touchdown here, will now have gone 7 games scoring only 4 touchdowns.
3 safeties, about 25 yards deep.
Von Miller in full-blown charge after the quarterback.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I think Jerome meant 58,
Yes,
Von Miller.
He most certainly did.
Correction, number 58.
And it's up to Eric Winston, number 74, the right tackle. Take a look at how deep the safeties are. They're back at 30 yards.
Quinn on the run, throws and batted down, incomplete.
Oh,
Knocked down by Woodyard.
Oh, yeah. The clock. Now we've got another clock problem because the clock didn't even operate at all there. Jerome, you have to notice that. There was 11 seconds at the start of that play.
So they're going to count it down to 6 seconds remaining.
There we go.
Let's see if we get the little short pass and pitch it back to whoever's open.
Now the safeties have moved back to 40 yards deep.
Quinn going to throw it back the other way. No, that's not open. Throws this side, incomplete, and the game is over. No, now 1 second on the clock.
Well, again, the Denver Broncos will tell you, even with a 1-9 football team, it's hard, and I'm speaking over the years, it's just hard to win at Arrowhead. Now, I know this makes, 7 in a row the Chiefs have lost here. Anytime you drive out of Kansas City and you got a W in the column, it didn't come easy most of the time.
Last play of the game, Quinn stepping up and throwing it deep down the far side, and that was intercepted down there by number 30, David Bruton. And that'll do it. Our final score, Denver 17, Kansas City 9. Up next, the Subway postgame show. For Dan Deerdorf, for all of us here at CBS in Kansas City, Greg Gumbel, so long from Kansas City. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.